This is going to be your guide to getting level 100 Pokemon in Pokemon Quest. So the reason why I'm making this video is because I was surprised that people were surprised. In one of my videos I did recently, what happens when you use 5 Rainbow Matter in Pokemon Quest, I received a level 92 Charmander because I was mostly experimenting with the rarities, and people were more freaking out about the level 92 Charmander than anything inside of the video. Well, the reason why I didn't think that that was too crazy is because that's how gold pots work. That once you get to the gold cooking pot, you start getting some very high level Pokemon, and the weird thing is that the trade-off, the amount of like levels that you get for the amount of ingredients, actually gets better. So it has better returns instead of diminishing returns the later you get into the game. Because if you use a bronze cooking pot, well, that's going to give you over level 15 for 10 items. If you double that, a gold cooking pot is going to give you some very high level Pokemon as well. So I'm just going to go and finish these off and kind of show you guys how it works. And it does take a couple more turns of commitment to cook a golden cooking pot, but overall you can get some high level Pokemon. And if you use those rare ingredients on the gold cooking pot, then you're going to be able to get a rare Pokemon with a high level. So look at that, level 94 Meowth. And the weird thing is, the gold cooking pot can actually just straight up give you a level 100 Pokemon, which can be very detrimental because we have this right here from Joe Merrick. Great, I can't even evolve that. So level 100 Growlithe showed up, but it's level 100, and you need to give it a level to evolve, because the way that evolution works in Pokemon Quest is that there's no evolutionary stones. There's no trading, there's no other evolution mechanics involved, that all the Pokemon has to do is reach a fair level. So for example, Eevee evolves at level 32, similar to the starter Pokemon Final Evolutions. We see the same for a lot of other Pokemon, and then it's usually around level 40 or something like that. So yeah, if you get a Pokemon, like even if you get level 99 Pokemon that has 3 stages, a level 99 Machop, it's going to be a Machoke at best. So that's when you pretty much just have to save it for using it on experience training. And that is another point of this video, that just because you have access to the golden cooking pot doesn't mean it's the only way of getting level 100 Pokemon or the only way of getting very high level Pokemon, because it is very resource intensive, and you do have to be very aware of the Pokemon that you're getting. If I have a Charmander, well then that means to level it up and to get more experience on that Charmander, I'm going to have to use bronze and maybe even silver cooking, and then hope I get a Charmander on like the more rare cooking recipes, and then I can use that for experience. So there is going to be a little bit that comes into play right there, but overall, if you just need like an instant high level Pokemon, just throw it into the cooking pot. And that is one thing that I learned throughout playing the games, that for the most part, your original few Pokemon that you get, try not to get too attached to them because it's actually going to hold you back. That after you get the bronze cooking pot and eventually work your way up to the silver cooking pot, it's pretty much just going to be the most efficient thing to do is recycle your entire team with all the ingredients that you've gathered up until that point, and then use it to get a stronger team that is pretty much above level anything that you're going to have. So how do you actually receive these extra cooking pots? Well, that is going to be from the quests. So depending on what world you're beating, that is actually going to give you a higher level cooking pot. So as we can see right here, you get all kinds of cool stuff. But then once you beat Backforth Brook, that is going to give you the bronze cooking pot, as shown by the little shiny cooking pot item right here. As we go a little further, Pincushion Plain is going to be the silver one. And then you have a while to go because Farside Fjord, Nightlight Nook, all these other ones are very challenging because now we're getting to the higher levels. And then when you finally defeat Mewtwo in the Chamber of Legends, that is how you receive the golden cooking pot. So pretty much just kind of showing you that once you get to that stage of the game, you don't need level 100s to beat Mewtwo. It's mostly just like quick reactions to the Psy Strike that it throws out. So as long as you're not getting hit and you get some good RNG, Mewtwo isn't too difficult of a fight, but just kind of shows that you need very, very high level Pokemon to take on Happenstance Island. 18,000, 20,000, and then it just scales ridiculously from there until you eventually hit the boss. So looking at my team, we can just see that I have a lot of spare Pokemon that are in the high levels. So we just got our level 84 Pidgey or 94 Meowth, some other gold cooking pots. So it gives you like over level 70 Pokemon, which is very nice, which is also why you have to be very weary of how you use your ingredients. If you're just kind of going for rare Pokemon, that is going to be something that you're gambling on, but if you get a rare Pokemon that's at a high level, you're good to go. I just recommend Alakazam, that using the lowest tier brain food in a gold cooking pot can give you level 90 Abras super easily, and then you can use that for more experience as well as re-rolling moves, and then getting a really strong setup on very high damage Pokemon. So I have 2 level 100 Alakazams, but then Chansey. Chansey is a very, very rare Pokemon. I've only ever received one, and this kind of shows the alternate training method that you can take. Actually, by recycling failed attempts to get another Chansey and then just doing long grinds, I've been able to get this thing up to almost level 100. So 95, that gives me half a level, a little over half a level right there at level 95, just by using the gold cooking pot on not that rare of a Pokemon. So 2 is going to give us close to like a full level and then a little bit extra. Rattata is not really too valuable. And then I did a red stew to maybe try to get a Chansey. But overall, like that's going to be a good jump. That it does take a lot of time to get that experience. So this is going to be another thing that you want to do is maybe farm up some gold, less rare Pokemon, and then that's going to give you massive experience jumps. So if you want to get rare Pokemon, I recommend, well, I mean, it's also tough because like I said, there are diminishing returns. That if you put it into a bronze cooking pot, kind of not really worth it, but the silver cooking pot might be a good in-between because ingredients are tough. That for a lot of these rare Pokemon, you have to start using premium ingredients, and you're going to realize that wasting all those extras on premium ingredients for bad RNG, not going to be a good thing. Because if we just look at our ingredients, those secondary precious ingredients are going to be fairly hard to come by. If you're just wasting it to get an unoptimized Pokemon that's not progressing your team, that's not good at all. So one, it's like there's also another level of RNG involved, that it takes more precious ingredients to actually make a very specific kind of soup because of the way that these things interact. But if you want to go for color, well, color is going to have a slight little advantage around it as well, because what we can do is take excess. So this is going to make a this is going to make a red stew, but it doesn't really matter because I have 4 right here, so I can put in whatever I want, and I have tons of icy rocks because apparently I just don't use icy rocks in my cooking recipes. So this is going to be able to set me up for a red Pokemon. Could be a Chansey, could be a Charmander, could be a decent level, or I could gamble on the high level like I showed in that last video. But at the same time, even if I have a good or very good, it could still just be a Pokemon that I don't really care to use too much, like a moderately strong one that's kind of rare, but it's not what I'm looking for. And another thing to note is that don't waste your resources. That 1 precious ingredient makes it good, 2 still makes it good, 3 makes it very good, and then 4 makes it still very good. So if you want special, that's going to be 5, but just 1, 3, or 5, and that's going to give you the better tiers, and mostly just increasing the likelihood of getting rare Pokemon. It's that gamble. Do you want to take good and go for that RNG, or very good and have a better chance of getting that stronger Pokemon that you're potentially looking for? And that's just kind of going off the ingredient list and whatever else you want to make. So that's going to be the bulk of it, but the biggest thing about getting high-level Pokemon are going to be the ingredients so you can cook frequently, which is why ingredient decorations are going to be your best friend. That I feel that with my time playing this game, that it was more optimized to just kind of buy the ingredient decoration stuff for what I'm specifically looking for. That depending on what recipes, what types of Pokemon you're trying to go for in the moment, it might be worth just to drop 50 of your PM points on the color that you're looking for right here, because 1.5 times is pretty powerful, especially if you're going in that 2x, so that's giving you 3x, and then the Gengar Balloon. The Gengar Balloon is the #1 thing that you want in this game. Size of all ingredient drops times 2. That is the first item that you save up for. That is the first item that you get, because look at this. That'd be 200 if I just want everything 1.5 times, or 1200 if I want everything times 2, and then the Gengar Balloon stacks with everything else. So once you get that Gengar Balloon, you use 450, and now you're getting 3 times on all gray, or all blue, or all red, or all yellow. So as we just saw, even though my Chansey is in the mid-90s, if we just throw a couple high-level Pokemon at it that we get from the gold cooking pot, well, that's going to give me substantial levels, more so than if I was just kind of running through one of these higher-level dungeons on Happenstance Island. That you do get a good amount of experience, but it's not an insane amount, and depending on also where you need to go, you can go back to the earlier levels, which you can clear very quickly. That if you have overleveled high-level Pokemon, well then, even though you're using a battery charges really rapidly, you're potentially getting a lot of the ingredients that you're specifically targeting. That's going to be very good. Now, another thing is that also just farming for the Power Stones. That if you have all the Power Stones that you can need, or feel that your team is really well optimized, deconstructing Power Stones, deconstructing the Move Stones are going to give you extra ingredients, and it's just about that. It's about the non-stop grind to chip away at using the golden cooking pot and then getting those higher level Pokemon, or silver cooking pot on those potentially more rare Pokemon, and then using the common ones to kind of fill it up, because even though it's not the same type, or even though it's not the same species gives you an experience bonus when training, which kind of shows that after you get the Gengar one, if you're going for level 100 Pokemon, then maybe getting one of those experience boosting flags during training could help. But I already have 2 level 100 Alakazam and a level 97 Chansey, I believe, after I did that training. So it's not going to be super impactful, because what happens when we have all level 100 Pokemon? Well, then that flag is kind of useless until you get even further into the game, and then you're trying to get like a level 100 Legendary or something. So that's weeks, days away from where you actually stand right there. So it might not be worth it at that point. It might be better spent on the Gengar Balloon, on those other ingredients, and then just kind of getting the Pokemon from there. So as long as you're going for the same type, which is roughly inside the same coloration of the same type, you should be good to go, and then you can get a lot of that experience. Alakazam was just the easiest to get to level 100 and does really high amounts of damage. So at level 100, if you have full stones, what I have is I have an 8 and I have a 7. So I have 8 power and a 7 power stone on the Alakazam, and I'm auto-attacking, critting for like 11, 14,000. Basic attacks are doing 6,500 right there, and then I'm swinging for over 20k on my Psycho Cut. So the moves are also going to be, and that's another thing, moves are going to be very important. So if you're using the training for moves, then having Pokemon that you're using in the cooking pot are going to be very effective. Pretty much just go normal, bronze, silver, gold. Eventually it gets to a point where you'll need gold level Pokemon if you fail enough move rolls, because every time you fail a move reroll, it gets harder to do it again. So that's a couple things to note. The reason why my Pokemon are healing is because, oh, I just hit myself in confusion, which is no bueno. But the reason why they're healing is they have hit healing runes, so it does pretty well. Overall, it does really well, and that's kind of the setup that I have. So we can see how much experience we gain at the end of this once it is completed. And there we go. So getting a fair amount of ingredients, getting something that I'm likely just going to deconstruct, and then keep an eye on Chansey. That didn't give us anything, so it's kind of funny how much more experience you get by just doing the cooking pot. So if I do just a basic, no premium ingredient gold cooking pot that's going to take 4 expeditions, well, the 4 expeditions at this rate with Chansey's experience, even if I go up to the next couple levels or couple worlds in Happenstance Island, it's going to be far less than if I just throw 5 Rattatas at it, or 4 Rattatas at it that are over level 90. That's going to be a level and a half right there, as we just saw. So that's going to be really good for Chansey, and then we got another half level, so 2 levels every 4 expeditions on a level 90 Pokemon, and you can still grind it through if you did not get lucky. This Chansey started off as like a level 30, and I was able to get up to level 100 just through the normal grinding of the game. So hope you guys enjoyed the video. That is how you get level 100 Pokemon in Pokemon Quest. Pretty much the answer is like everything else in this game, grinding and then optimizing, training, ingredients, and then just kind of playing the game whenever you can. I do recommend buying the $30 bundle if you want to heavy commit into this game, because it just makes life so easy. Use the money that you get from that bundle onto the Gengar balloon. You get more PM points every time you log in every day, so you can do more grinds or you can get more items, and that's going to be pretty good. So if you guys enjoy the video, hope you all have a nice day. Thank you very much for watching.